The most important thing with pet care is to know what you can and can't feed your dog. Certain foods that are safe for humans can be harmful to dogs. Because dogs have a different metabolism than people, feeding human foods to dogs can be very dangerous for their health and may even be fatal in some cases. Today, we'll tell you about 10 foods that will kill your dog. Number 10. Avocados. Avocados contain a toxin called persin. Persin is perfectly safe for human consumption but can be very poisonous to dogs. It is found in avocado fruit, pits, leaves, and bark, so you should avoid giving any part of the plant to your dog. If a dog eats these, fluid may accumulate in the dog's lungs and chest. This can make it difficult for them to breathe, which can lead to oxygen deprivation and even death. Fluid can also accumulate in the heart, pancreas, and abdomen, which can lead to other fatal complications. Avocado pits can also be accidentally swallowed, which can cause choking or a blockage in the digestive tract. Eating any part of the avocado plant can cause serious health problems in dogs that may result in death. These popular fruits are dangerous for two reasons. First, they have a high fat content, which can wreak havoc on your dog's tummy. Second, the slippery, hard pit is easy to swallow and can lead to a gastrointestinal obstruction, Dr. Lee notes. Surgery might be required to remove the blockage. Number 9. Coffee, tea, and other caffeine. Caffeine is naturally found in coffee, tea, cocoa, and guarana, a South American plant. It is also often added to soft drinks and medications. Caffeine can speed the heart rate and stimulate the nervous systems in dogs. Within 2 to 4 hours of consuming caffeine, dogs may experience restlessness, excessive thirst, a lack of bladder control, vomiting, and diarrhea. If dogs ingest too much caffeine, they can experience abnormal heart rhythm or lung failure, which can ultimately lead to death. In fact, several cases of death have been reported in dogs due to an overdose of caffeine. The minimum dose of caffeine at which death was reported was less than 2.2 milligrams per pound, 1 milligram per kilogram of body weight. The average cup of coffee or tea contains between 40 and 150 milligrams of caffeine, so even just a few sips could be deadly for a dog. Consuming caffeine can cause abnormal heart rhythm or lung failure in dogs, which can ultimately lead to death. Coffee, tea, and other sources of caffeine should be kept away from dogs. Number 8. Grapes and raisins. Grapes and raisins can be extremely toxic to dogs. They can cause rapid kidney failure, which can ultimately be fatal. The toxic compounds in grapes are still unknown, but even small amounts can make your dog sick. Toxic levels vary from dog to dog, but one study reviewing 180 reports found that some dogs die after eating just a handful of raisins. Therefore, ingestion of any quantity should be taken very seriously. It is important to note that poisoning can happen from eating raw grapes and raisins, or from eating them as ingredients in baked goods like cookies, cakes, and snack bars. Watch for symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue, and depression. These may be followed by signs of kidney failure, such as excessive thirst and very little urine production. Grapes and raisins are highly toxic to dogs. Even very small amounts can lead to kidney failure, which can be fatal. Number 7. Milk. Yeah, we know puppies drink milk from their mothers after they're born. However, like humans, including Moi, dogs can also suffer from lactose intolerance. Milk contains milk sugar that dogs don't have the enzymes to break down. Consumption of milk could lead to vomiting, diarrhea, and other gastrointestinal problems. While it's not immediately life-threatening, it can contribute to serious bacterial exposure in dogs that could eventually lead to disease. Number 6. Chocolate. Chocolate is one of the most common foods that is bad for dogs, so we figured we'd knock it off the list early. Dog owners know better than to leave a Toblerone or two lying around. Chocolate contains caffeine and theobromine, which fall under the methazanthine category. When we hear the phrase, the darker the chocolate, the more dangerous, it's because white chocolate contains fewer methazanthines, thus less toxicity. If eaten by a dog, chocolate can cause vomiting, dehydration, abdominal pain, severe agitation, muscle tremors, irregular heart rhythm, elevated body temperature, seizures, and death. Number 5. Alcohol and yeast dough. Alcohol is found in a variety of products including alcoholic beverages, perfumes, mouthwash, paint, varnish, and a variety of cleaning products. While occasional alcohol consumption is safe for humans, dogs cannot tolerate it, even a small amount. Symptoms usually develop within an hour after consumption and include tiredness, depression, and lack of muscle coordination, low body temperature, poor breathing, vomiting, and diarrhea. If a dog consumes too much alcohol, it can result in lung failure, seizures, coma, and even death. The toxic dose of 100% or 200 proof alcohol in dogs has recently been reported to be about 0.59 ounces per pound of body weight, 8 milliliters per kilogram, with death occurring 12 to 24 hours after ingestion. Alcohol poisoning in dogs usually happens after accidental ingestion of alcoholic beverages. However, in one case, a dog died of alcohol poisoning after eating a large number of rotten apples. It's also a concern if dog eats raw dough that contains yeast. As the yeast cells ferment, they actually produce alcohol, which causes a dog's blood alcohol level to rise and can ultimately cause alcohol poisoning and death. What's more, the dough will expand in the dog's stomach and can cause severe bloating. This puts pressure on the surrounding organs and can make it very difficult for the dog to breathe. It is important to never feed raw yeast dough or alcohol to your dog. Alcoholic beverages should not be left unattended, and raw dough should be kept well out of reach. If a dog consumes alcohol, it can lead to serious health problems and even death. This can also happen if a dog eats raw yeast dough. Number 4. Raw fish, eggs, and meat. There is a lot of controversy on this subject since many vets consider the health benefits of switching to raw meat diets. Some have the view that feeding dogs on raw meat, fish, and eggs gives healthier coats and skin, eases digestion, and cleans teeth. However, other vets recommend cooking the food to kill any bacteria and harmful parasites that may make the dog sick. Even the FDA discourages feeding dogs raw foods since they have a higher risk of contracting E. coli and Salmonella infection. Dogs with compromised immune systems are at a higher risk of these infections, and since it is difficult telling if the dog has a healthy immune system, avoid feeding them uncooked food. In raw eggs, some enzymes can bring about skin conditions. Raw fish, on the other hand, can carry harmful parasites. A raw diet carries a lot of risk for your dog compared to the benefits, hence the reason it is not recommended. Number 3. Salted foods. Dogs are extra sensitive to salt than humans. This requires that you avoid feeding them anything like popcorn, pretzels, and other salted foods. It can cause sodium ion poisoning, excessive thirst, and increased urination. When a dog eats too much salt, it will cause diarrhea, vomiting, seizures, have high body temperature, or bloating. Since salt can kill your dog, it is crucial that you keep it to a minimum. Eating too much salt could lead to a condition known as salt poisoning or water deprivation in dogs. This can cause vomiting, diarrhea, depression, tremors, fevers, and seizures. It may even be fatal in severe cases. According to the Merrick Veterinary Manual, the toxic dose for dogs is around 2.2 teaspoons of salt per pound, 4 grams per kilogram of body weight. Because of this, it is not a good idea to give your dog salted foods like pretzels, popcorn, or chips. It is also important to make sure your dog always has access to fresh drinking water. Number 2. Candy. Humans may have no issue with sweets except for the sugar content. However, for dogs, xylitol, a component of sweets, can cause a surge in insulin, leading to a significant drop in blood sugar and maybe liver failure. Xylitol poisoning has symptoms including seizures, vomiting, lethargy, loss of coordination, and death. It is crucial that you check the ingredients of your foods before feeding them to your dog. Apart from these common snacks, there are other foods and accessories that should not get into your dog's mouth. These include raw potato, apple cores, human medicine, uncooked yeast dough, cooked bones, alcohol, seeds, and fruit pits. These food products may poison or even kill your dog. You should always stick to approved dog foods and consult with your vet before making any changes. Number 1. Bacon. What? Bacon? Say it isn't so. It's absolutely tragic that we can't share one of the greatest foods out there with our canine buddies. You may not feel that hot after inhaling a plate of bacon, but it's even worse for your pooch. This breakfast treat contains loads of fat that can lead to pancreatitis, an inflamed pancreas that functions incorrectly in dogs. We'll need to remember this the next time we want to feed our dog some breakfast bacon under the table. Well, more bacon for us. Sorry, buddy. Foods rich in fat, like bacon, can lead to the disease pancreatitis in dogs. Once a dog has developed pancreatitis, their pancreas becomes inflamed and stops functioning correctly. This leads to all sorts of problems with digestion and nutrient absorption. Let us know in the comments below what other foods should be added to the list. Please subscribe to The Amazing Dogs. Thanks for watching.